Robertson shout. Just bringing the world in focus. It's the Kevin Tate. Robertson shout. Said bringing the world in focus.
I'll be the one and only KEV.
The one and only Russell Simmons. Russell, what's going on with you, baby? How you feeling, man?
My pleasure.
Great. Hey, listen, what brings you out to support the series and Historical Black College at Howard University?
It's, you know, the shared knowledge. I mean, you move around all these years as I have, you know, then you learn some things. And, you know, some things you already knew, but you had experiences that prove them true. And so when you can share it with young people, it's a blessing, you know, so that's why I do it.
Emmy award-winning producer and author of Innocent Spouse, the one and only Carol Ross Joint. Miss Joint, how are you?
Kevin, nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you as well. Glad to have you on the set. I'm so happy.
I like your set.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, listen, we can set up anywhere. That's a great thing about it. Thank you so much for the compliment.
Producer for Larry King at Larry King Live, and that's what I was doing when my husband died suddenly from pneumonia, and I inherited his business. And what Innocent Spouse is about is a $3 million tax fraud case that I didn't know about and that I had nothing to do with, but landed on me because I was in my husband's will and on the tax return. So this story begins with Howard's death and ends about 12 years later when I was finally able to get free of his bankrupt business and close it, Nathan's.
Your time. One last question before I leave. What impression from Innocent Spouse do you want to leave with everybody when they read it? What do you want us to take away from this powerful book?
That you don't always know your spouse as well as you think you do. Doesn't mean you don't love him or her, but you might need to have a little more information. You know, that person has been sleeping next to you for year after year after year, could be a little bit of a stranger. And I think the bigger message that I'd like people to have is that you can get through it, whatever it is.
Well, Carol, thank you for your time.
Yes.
Love you so much. Thank you so much.
First interviewer to kiss my
I am honored to have on the show with me today the one and only Dan Rather. Mr. Rather, how are you today, sir?
Great. I could use some motivation. Lay it on me.
Hall of Fame coach John Thompson. Coach, how are you? Very nice. Oh, man, I am proud to have on the show with me the one and only Larry, the Cable Guy. Larry, what's going on with you, man?
I tell you what, you're going to give me a heart attack watching you talk. Slow down a little bit. You're like an auctioneer up here.
That's right. Energy, man. Energy, baby.
You can do that. That's how good you are.
What do you think the first step is to improve financial literacy?
I think you got to start early, and you got to go often. So, I mean, I know the mayor of the District of Columbia is committed to financial literacy, and I think implementing a program in schools, starting with elementary school, working through middle and high school, making financial literacy a basic course that has to be mastered.
And Morton's, the one and only, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. David Falk. David Nice, leading focus expert, here with the one and only James Brown. We are celebrating something very special today. It is the NFL Players Association in conjunction with the JB Awards doing something for the Special Olympics. JB, how you feel today, man?
Good to be here, and thank you very much for being out here to cover us, too, because these guys are giving up their time to work with these young people. I appreciate
Blessed
it.
on the set, the one and only MC Light and DJ K-Rock. MC Light, very nice to meet you, sweetheart, and nice to see you. Just finished ripping the 1 and 2s, tore it down. Flash, how you feeling this evening, man? Hey, listen, tell me how the JB Awards came about and how you forged your relationship with the NFL Players Association.
Wow. About 7 years ago, Pat Allen, who was then the chief operating officer of the NFL Players Association, we were flying across country talking about ways to lose weight. Yeah. And so she had asked me if I would get involved because they were trying to raise the profile of it, more importantly, to raise money for these kids here. I was humbled, quite frankly, Kevin, that she would want me to do it, and that's how it got started, and it's grown each year, and I'm truly humbled that the players we recognize show up so that we can raise some funds for these Special Olympians.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How much focus have you had in your career to achieve your success?
Well, focus has been one of the keys, to be quite honest with you. I'm lucky. I dreamed as a child of being a reporter. I didn't think about television, and it's always been my abiding dream. I got to adolescence, young adulthood, and adulthood. I think of it as a navigational star. I keep my eye on that star, sort of focused on that star.
Wow.
And any time that I begin doing something kind of varying from that, I think about my navigational star. The other thing is very early in my career, when I'd say 18 through about 24, I used to carry in my pocket just a card and it had written on it, is what you're doing now helping you to achieve your dream?
Wow.
Just a motivational thing for me.
It's a great affirmation.
So, you know, have it in my pocket, and once in a while I pull it out, and I'd say, you know, this is not helping me achieve my dream.
Wow.
So I'd get on something else.
We're here with the one and only Charles S. Dutton. How are you, sir?
I'm good, man.
Yeah, man.
Good.
Glad to have you coming out. Hey,
you,
listen,
thank you.
we both have something in common. We both used to be incarcerated. And we changed our lives around. What words of encouragement would you have for a young person to stay focused on their goals and their dreams despite the fact of them being in that situation?
Well, you know, if you're the kind of guy or person I'll say, that gives up anyway, then you're going to give up on anything.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're going to punk out, you know, then that's who you are.
Keep it real, baby.
You know what I mean? So, but if you got balls and you got heart, and you tired of the other life you've been living and want to see what's on the other side, you have to determine and tell yourself, listen, I've got a PhD in foolishness, stupidity, thug life, and all the other negatives. There's something on the other side. The minute you drop that other thing and put some positive karma around you, all kinds of people will come out of the woodwork to help you.
Laws of attraction just kick in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's how you do it. But you have to want it. It ain't going to fall out of the sky.
That's right.
You got to have perseverance and discipline, the same kind of discipline you had in a negative life.
Yes, sir.
You got to redirect that in the positive. And if you stay with perseverance and discipline and don't let, I've got a criminal record, I've got an incarceration record, stand in your way through employment or anything else. Kick the door in, don't knock on it, kick it down.
Robertson shout. Just bringing the wild and funky stuff out. It's the Kevin Robertson shout.